like to call to order the June 1st meeting of Oakwood City Council. If you would please join me with the pledge to the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lori, can you please call the roll?
Vice Mayor Byington.
Here.
Mrs. Turbin.
Here.
Mrs. Jackson.
Here.
Mr. Dorff.
Here. And at this time, can I have a motion to excuse the mayor?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Next on to minutes. Councilmember Dorff, can I have a report on the status of our minutes from our previous regular session meetings?
Yes, so I carefully read the minutes from May 4th, regular session and work session, as well as the May 18th work session and executive session. Those were correct with a few minor corrections that Lori dutifully made. And so I make a recommendation that we approve those minutes as corrected.
Okay, the motion has been made. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Next, we get to status reports. And on the agenda there is the citizen committee appointments. We have two folks that I would like to recommend appointing to positions. The first is Kevin Brooks, and he has applied for the beautification committee. And the second is Iris Jurgensen, and she has applied for the Board of Zoning Appeals. So I make the motion that both those folks serve in those positions. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Moving right along. Any other status reports that you're aware of? Okay. If not, we get to our visitors portion of the meeting, and I think the first person we have on the agenda is the Montgomery County Recorder's Office. So if you'd like to come forward, introduce yourself.
Hey. So I have to start. Might have to make this a little bit taller, huh?
Yes.
I was talking to Lori. This is absolutely a beautiful building. I've never been in this building before, so it's
Well,
really an
welcome.
honor to be here and to speak in front of you guys and really in front of the whole community. It's nice to have a good crowd here.
Welcome.
I'm like, if it's like this every time, I'm impressed because not many councils have much of an audience, so it's nice to have a little audience here, right? So in front of all of you guys, by the way, I'm Nate Mundy. I'm with the Recorder's Office. I'm here on behalf of Lori Kennedy. As you can tell, I don't look like Lori Kennedy, so I'm speaking on behalf of her. She's actually on vacation this week, so
Good for
it's
her.
nice to give her a little bit of a break, and I'm kind of taking it for her. So if I mess up, just don't tell her. You know. All right. So in front of you is a bunch of folders, right? And I'm going to be going over that folder today. I know you guys probably don't want to be here all night, so I'm going to go as quick as possible. But if you do have any questions, please let me know. All right? So I'll get started. I want to start with this. I know we just talked about Recorder Candy, Lori Candy. On the right side there, you're going to have her business card. What I like a lot about Recorder Kennedy is she's not just an open door policy with her employees, she's an open door policy with her community. And I think you guys probably understand that because I know you guys are very much similar. It's really exciting to see someone that's willing to go out and talk to the community and to kind of build that relationship. So if you do have any major questions that we can't handle, or if you just want to talk with her, that is her office number. And she might not answer today because she's on vacation, but she'll love to talk to you guys. So, and that goes with anyone. With that, I'm just going to start from left to right. And like I said, if you have any questions, just let me know. On the left side, this is what we're pretty much known for. It's our fire alert notification system, our FAN system. This brochure kind of gives a little bit more information, but essentially what we do is we do our best to try to take care of fraud that happens within our communities. I'm sure you probably heard that there is deed fraud. It is real. It's definitely out there. We actually have a presentation that we do that's about 20 minutes long, and it has 3 testimonials that speaks even more about the deed fraud that happens in our communities. And they're local testimonies. They're people that live pretty close to here, funny enough. And luckily, they're not Oakwood property one, but we have some Centervilles and some Huber Heights, and it's interesting to see what they talk about. So the big thing about the fraud alert notification system is having folks sign up for it. What we do with the notification system, it's totally free. That's everyone's favorite part, at least it's mine. It's a free system where if anything happens to your property, any liens, or it doesn't have to always be someone trying to transfer your property into another person's name. It could be liens, new covenants if you live in a condo, really anything, mortgage updates, things like that. Any of that will ping that system and you'll be notified that something is going on with your property. So you can shoot us a call, you can look it up, see what's going on. The best part about it is if there is something going wrong with your property or anyone in the community's property, they're actually aware of what's happening. They can kind of get an eye on it. And if something is going wrong, like an actual fraudulent situation, they can call our office, fill out an affidavit of facts, and we get it over to the prosecutor's office and we go right away to make sure that that property does not leave your hands and can go back to what it should be. So that's kind of what we're known for. I always ask, it's not only individual properties that we like to sign up for these things. We actually ask for municipalities, for schools to sign up as well. It's a free system. It's an in-house system. It's all in-house within Montgomery County Recorder's Office. So it's not like we're partnering with some business out there. So anything that happens with any of these properties, even city properties, we can be sure that you guys know about it and keep someone in line, of what's happening and updates and things like that, which is really important. And then I guess the last thing I'll mention, so there's that, and then there's a paper form there as well. If you wanted to fill it out for yourself or, if you want to give it to someone else. I will say with this paper form, with the brochure, there's a QR code that's within the front page there. Mm-hmm. And I think for the community here, especially the ones here, we have brochures somewhere. I don't know where they went. But, Lori has. So if anyone in the audience is interested, we do got extra brochures, but the paper form is the same exact thing as the QR code. It's just paper. So the big thing is a security phrase. Make sure you at least have 5 digits, numbers, letters. We're case sensitive as well. Because if anything does happen, we're going to ask for that security phrase. So that's a big deal for us. Other than that, texting has just started with the Recorder's Office. Recorder Kennedy started that about a few months ago, which is best because I used to work at the post office, and I know a little bit about snail mail. I love the post office, but it does take a little bit of time for mail to get to you. So that's always nice to have. The last thing about it is just for the community to know, or for you guys to know, a few tips to kind of keep fraudsters away. You can always upkeep your property. Make sure that the snow is removed. Make sure that the mail is not piling up. Fraudsters look for those things because they want to look that, if you're a snowbird and you're not paying attention to your house, they see that as an opportunity to try to do something. So that's just a good little tip for folks. And then if there really is anything else, you might find it. It's on the left side there, the back page. It's an FAQ sheet. That kind of might help answer a little bit more questions. And what's cool about the FAQ sheet there, if you flip it around the back, it actually talks about the TODs, or transfer on deaths, which I'll talk about next. So our transfer on deaths, that's our next brochure that we have there. The best part about transfer on death, and I'm sure many of you guys already know, is you designate a beneficiary, and I'm not going to say you, right? But whoever has designated a beneficiary when they pass away, it's as simple as, bringing in a death certificate, signing an affidavit, and it moves over, no problem. I won't say it's only $50. Usually it's around $50. It's like $39 for the first page, and then subsequent pages are $8. Usually it's 2 pages long. Some people might have a crazy house, and it would be 3 pages long. So it's a lot cheaper than probate. I can tell you that right now. I think some people forget that probate is not just the court fees, it's not just attorney fees, but you have to still upkeep that house during that time. So if you can spend $50 and just get it to easily transfer to your beneficiary and avoid probate, it's a great service that we offer. And then the last thing I'll talk about, and this might be my favorite, is our veteran program. So we record DD-214s, which is fantastic for veterans. I don't know if any of you guys are veterans, or I'm sure all of you guys know of one. If you're not one yourself, we might even have some in the audience here. The best part about recording a DD-214 is, which is your service discharge, by the way, you don't have to worry about that piece of paper getting damaged or lost. My grandpa, I absolutely love my grandpa. He has since passed, but what I love most about my grandpa, well, I love a lot of things about my grandpa, but I absolutely loved that every single restaurant he would go to, he would take out his wallet and he would take out his DD-214, and it's a piece of paper, and he, folds it in like half and then half again. He did it so many times that it just fell apart into 4 pieces. So, well, and of course he's going to get the discount. Why wouldn't you? So he'll go to the restaurant and he'll kind of like start taking out the pieces and putting them together. By that time, the waitress is like, "Okay, we get it. Like you get your 10%, you're fine." But it's funny because now that I work here, I could see that. Oh wow, he could have just recorded that with the recorder's office, and the moment that fell apart or got wet or whatever, he goes back and gets another one for free, which is like really nice for veterans. And then the best part about it is, while we record it, we get you a veteran ID card. This has all your DD-214 information just on a fancy card, so it doesn't fall to pieces every single time you take it out for your waitress or waiter or whatnot. So that's something I absolutely love. So I'll mention this as well. On the right side, you're going to have 2 pieces of paper under the notes page. The first one is an ID schedule for a mobile veteran unit. What I love about this is a lot of people do not want to go downtown. I think it's not too bad. We're right off the highway. But the best part about this is we actually go to your community, which I don't know. I don't think we're touching Oakwood this year, but we're close. I know we will also be at the, I almost said the Ohio State Fair. We'll be at the Montgomery County Fair. And so we'll be doing a veteran ID event there. And yeah, we go all around the county to make sure that we take care of veterans in their communities so they don't have to always travel to us, which I think is really cool. And then the last thing, and then I'll leave you guys, is our veteran discounts. There's over 75 locations here on this page, and counting, we always update it, that has veteran discounts that serve our veterans. And it's a big deal for us. We make it a point to serve those who served. And we absolutely love the work that we do. And it's a passion for us. So I know I said a lot. I try to keep it under a certain amount of time. Is there any questions?
Do we have any questions?
I have one question. I just want to confirm that what you're saying is that we should encourage all of our citizens to sign up for the fraud alert notification.
Definitely. It's a free service. It's a great service offered by the county, well, the recorder's office, and it doesn't hurt them one bit. If something is going on with their property, I, as a citizen, would probably want to know what's happening with my property when things happen, right? So it's an easy, free service, and if they have any questions, they can always call us. On the back of your guys' brochures is that number, but I'll say the number as well for the community to know. It's 937-225-4275, and that reaches our main line, and yeah, we'd love to help. Great question. Thank you.
And is all this information on your website?
Yeah, it is, mcrecorder.org.
Okay.
So, thank you, Council. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, next on our visitors, we have the Oakwood Inclusion Coalition.
Hi, guys. Thanks. I'm Kate Formansky. I'm the chair of the Oakwood Inclusion Coalition. And we just kind of wanted to come by, as we do once a year, to give you guys an overview of what we've been doing for the last year and what we're planning to do for the next year to fulfill our mission of helping to make Oakwood the most welcoming place that it can be. So I'm kind of going to start by talking about what we did in the past year and then move into what's next, and hopefully we'll get through this pretty quickly. So if you can go ahead. Thanks. So we've had several in-person events in the last year. Mostly these are like educational type events. We had two film screenings last summer where we showed a film and then brought in somebody who was personally connected to that film to talk about it, somebody from around here. And then we had the service dog panel discussion or Q&A session with a bunch of local people and families that use service dogs. What are we trying to do in all these events? Well, I guess we like to call this series Learning from Locals, right? So you're taking all these unique perspectives that maybe not all of us can relate to, and then you're bringing in real live people who live here in Oakwood or Kettering or Fairborn or something, somebody local, a real person, to like put a human face on this issue or this, one of the human differences, right, that like makes our community so interesting with all the different kinds of people that we have here. So learning from locals, that's what we're trying to do. And we're actually doing another film screening with a panel discussion after, coming up later this month, we're gonna show the film Loving in connection with the Juneteenth holiday. And then, so Loving is about a real life interracial couple whose marriage led to a huge Supreme Court case that then overturned all the state laws against interracial marriage. So then after that, we're going to have a panel discussion with several local interracial couples. I think we have 3 couples right now, all of whom live in Oakwood, and then 2 adult children of interracial couples to get kind of that perspective. So again, just, to humanize the issue, to show like, wow, this really impacts our local community and people who live right here. So looking forward to that. And that's part of the unity in the community collaboration with a whole bunch of other towns in this area. They're all kind of coming together to create a series of Juneteenth related events. So we're working on that with Kettering, Springboro, Beaver Creek, Sugar Creek, Fairborn, probably missing some, but definitely appreciating that intercity community collaboration. That's good enough for that slide. We're gonna keep things moving. We also participated in a bunch of local annual traditions like that day in May, the family pride picnic, and the ice cream social. Several years in a row, we've had a presence there, and this is a really great opportunity for us to have people come up to our table and where we can really talk to them about their experience with inclusion in Oakwood. Kind of get that on the ground community feedback to learn about people's experiences and their needs and what they're looking for from a coalition like ours. We also created and released this year our first ever podcast episode, which we worked really hard on. It focuses again on local history. History of homes and housing was the topic for our first episode. So we got together with, I think it was 9 or 10 people, some members of the Inclusion Coalition and some people from outside, and talked about kind of where each of us grew up in the Dayton area and in what ways some of the people there had experienced housing discrimination, what it was really like to grow up in a segregated neighborhood and then kind of live through the change into integrated housing. And for the people who live in Oakwood, why each of us had chosen to live in Oakwood and kind of what makes it attractive to us. So that was really neat. You should check it out. It's on our YouTube channel. And we are still sending out a monthly events bulletin we have 609, actually it's even more than that now, probably closer to 620 people on our mailing list who every month get announcements of events in Oakwood and throughout the Dayton area that have anything to do with inclusion in our community. So we hope to encourage the participation by Oakwood citizens in events inside and outside Oakwood by that. And we also have those events posted on an online calendar, so even if you don't subscribe, you can go and check those out. I wanted to specifically call out under the community impact section there's 2 things that we're really, really pleased that our partnership with the city has enabled us to achieve in the last year. We are so happy about, especially the Blue Envelope program. You guys all know what that is because I'm sure you approved it. But for anybody else who's listening, this is a program, it's for drivers with autism. You get a physical blue envelope from public safety, and you're supposed to put your registration and proof of insurance inside it, and then if you get pulled over, you hand that to the officer, and it has some basic information about what to expect from a person with autism. Maybe don't shine your flashlight right in their face, it's okay if they don't make eye contact, some basic information to improve communication and just help situations go as smoothly as possible for both the officer and the driver. So we, basically all we had to do was just mention that to public safety last summer, and public safety put in all the work of researching the program, finding out, what it would take to put it into operation, and then printing the envelopes, and those were delivered and set up in February, I believe, and so now they are available to the public at the library here at City Hall. Super awesome program. I know several people who've already taken one. And then brand new, just a few days ago, as the pool opened for the summer, we were able to work with the Oakwood Community Center to get a picture menu there. There's a family here that has a child who has some communication difficulties, and she's old enough and capable of ordering on her own, but she can't always be understood. So she can go stand in line with her own friends of her own age and not have to have her mom with her, as long as she can just point to the item on the menu that she wants rather than having to say the name of it out loud. So I wanted to just give a special thanks to Doug Spittler and for his work with Swim Safe Pool Management to help get that menu created, and it's out there on the counter now. And not just that one family, but anybody can come up and use it because it's just sitting out there. So we're really pleased about that too. So thank you very much to Doug Spittler and to Public Safety and to everybody who helped make that happen at the city. Okay, next slide, please. In the next year, we're really, as I mentioned, looking for community input on what we're doing. Like, we're not here to tell people how they ought to think about issues. Like, we're here to listen and help where we can and serve where we can, where people are expressing a need to us or a desire for certain programming. So, one way we do that is go out and be present at those city events and listen to people in real time. Another way that we did that starting this year is with a community survey, which we sent out to all our 600 members. And in this case, each person who responded got a personal follow-up email, not just like an automated email like, thank you for your input, but we actually wrote back to each person and asked follow-up questions or talked about their ideas, what it would take to bring that to fruition, or like, that sounds like, I wonder if we could combine that with this other idea, like really like personalized follow-up for each person. And it's actually, it's led to, a couple more people joining our leadership team, but, a couple of things that we're really gonna try to do. My favorite one, which is bolded at the bottom, is the longest table, which is coming up this Thursday, 3 days from now, at 5:30. It's going to be on East Shantz between the high school and Mac Hummons Stadium. Everyone is invited. You don't have to, it's completely free. You don't even have to register at this point because I'm not changing the rental furniture order anymore. Yeah, just come. Everyone's invited. We hope all city staff would be willing to come as well. And just, be part of the community. It's a potluck dinner. Where the idea is you sit down with strangers, we'll have discussion questions, and you just start asking questions and getting to know people that are right there in your community, but maybe you otherwise would never cross paths with, right? So this is in response to, so the longest table was actually suggested by somebody in the survey, but we also have, we have had some other, you can see on there, events that would be good for seniors, events that would bring people of different ages together across those generation gaps, events that have in-person interaction, right? And events that, kind of celebrate different, people can bring, if they want, like a food that relates to their culture or their heritage or something, something about where they came from. So, we think this event really like hits a lot of points that people asked for on the community survey. We've had a great response. We have about 175 people registered to come. Most people have had no interaction with the OIC before, and we have at least I was just sitting here trying to think, how many volunteers have we got? At least 24 volunteers to help with this event who are not members of the Oakwood Inclusion Leadership Team. So this is really, I'm excited about the fact this is bringing other people from the community in to kind of see what the Oakwood Inclusion Coalition is all about and really celebrate, just the openness of this community, which is something that I personally really love about it. Having moved here only 5 years ago, I'm really pleased about how everybody has been so open to make new friends, both for my children and for me personally, make new friends with new people who've moved in. And this I think is really perfect to kind of showcase that openness and willingness to make new friendships that characterizes our community. So the whole town is invited to attend. Please come. I think that might be my last slide, but I'm not sure. Do I have one more? Okay. The longest table. You should all totally come to it. Oh my gosh. So that's it. Thank you so much. Do you guys have any questions? Oh, and thank you also.
Do you have any questions for Kate?
What time does the longest table start?
It starts at 5:30, just 5:30 to 7:30.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
I have a comment.
Oh, yeah.
Kate, I would just like to say that it's amazing to me that once a month, a newsletter goes out to 650 people, letting them know that if they want to get to know people, that they want to get to know people better, if they want to know their backstories, and if they are just interested in the experiences of people that they don't meet every day in their regular life, that you just do a terrific job. And I just think it's so valuable to our community that we have this outreach. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that makes Oakwood really special is we have so many, we have people from all over the world, people born on every inhabited continent, people who, have traveled the world, and, people with all kinds of family types and shapes and sizes and stuff. We have so many interesting people who've had so many interesting experiences, and we have so much to share. I really love that about this town. So that's really what we want to celebrate.
I was just going to add real quickly, just remembering 5 years ago, maybe when the OIC was first founded. Healy was also one of the co-founders of the organization. It's just amazing to see how much work you guys are still doing, and it's just really impressive. So thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, we try to evolve. Keep with the times, respond to the community's need, and keep on being open to different ideas.
It's really evolved, and that everybody can feel included.
Thanks.
I will add to that as well that, the mailing list, I think, is absolutely fantastic because, the amount of events that you put together, I'm fairly well connected in the city, and every time I read through there, I'm like, there's one event that I didn't hear about or that kind of thing. So I'm really appreciative of that. And I think that I can speak for most of council and that say, if you hear things out there, I love the fact that you're getting information and input from a lot of different sources. You have friends on council. You can definitely come to us with any kind of comments or things like that you're hearing in the community, because sometimes it might be more comfortable for folks to talk about it at an OIC meeting than it would be to come before a council and kind of tell us. So please utilize us as a resource to try to convey that information. So
Thank
any
you.
other questions or comments for Kate? No. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, are there any other visitors who would like to address council this evening? Oh, step up. State your name for everybody in the
Good evening.
audience.
I'm Andrea White. I'm a state representative serving Oakwood and Kettering and Riverside and parts of downtown. And so I'm very happy to be here tonight. And I'm very excited about all the progress and the wonderful things going on with the Oakwood Inclusion Coalition. I've been following that over the years I've been in office. I'm in my 6th year. And it's really wonderful to see all the evolution and all the participation. And recently benefited from the recorder's office, so I highly recommend the deed program because my father passed away, and it works. We received a notification. It wasn't a fraud attempt, it was a legitimate attempt, and so it does work, and it contacts you, and truly appreciate that. So pass that on to Lori. But I just came because I wanted to commend Councilmember Lee Turbin and Councilmember Sam Dorf, and all of you for your input and work on the e-bike issue. And I've met with Rob and Katie and Mayor Duncan and of course, the council members, and they've communicated your thoughts. And this issue about e-bikes is really, the conversation is exploding around the state because the numbers have skyrocketed, and there's lots of different users. And, you know, first and foremost, you know, we've heard loud and clear from our community as well as the region and the state, hey, let's just take a look at this and let's educate people and let's make people aware. You know, just down the street in Kettering, we've had the issue with pedestrians getting hit, right? And some bike accidents and things like that. So starting with the public awareness was the approach we took. Public awareness and education, requiring driver training so that you've got to learn about how do you navigate pedestrians and bikes and e-bikes and motorcycles and mopeds and all that, as well as then you got to be tested on it on your driver's test, because otherwise maybe you won't pay as much attention to that part. But then this aspect of, you know, working with the Department of Public Safety at the state level and the Ohio Municipal League, you know, their feedback is, hey, there's mixed views on this. So let's have a study, have the Director of Public Safety for the state study this issue, look at where are the gaps in our current law with the definitions, because a lot of these vehicles are evolving, you know, that you're seeing all kinds on the road. They don't fit in a category. So let's start and figure out where we're at today. And then they can make recommendations by pulling a broad group of people together to say, what does the state need? What do we want our local communities? What do they still want to do? And what would be beneficial for the state? So I just wanted to thank you two for your leadership and all of you for your input. And this bill has been introduced, and it will move through the legislative process, most likely in November when we return, because we have just a very short window left. But we're going to continue to work and engage. The Rails to Trails groups are interested. You know, like I said, the Municipal League, law enforcement, all of our community leaders are taking action through, as Katie told me, through the first suburbs and the mayors and managers and the Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission. So that was one thing I wanted to report. And I will tell you, the best ideas for legislation come really just from listening and engaging with our communities. And that's what has been my experience as a legislator. I was reminded today, sitting here, of Dr. Sally Luther and a conversation I had with her regarding a bill she heard about in South Carolina of putting 988 on student ID cards or their planners or their web portals. And so I worked with her and others to get that passed. So now all Ohio schools for high school and then colleges do orientation, and they put it on their programs to publicize how do you get help when you're having mental health issues or substance use issues and struggles. It's right there. And also you may want to know that in Ohio, a lot of families, when their students go to college, they don't realize once you turn 18, you know, if something happens and you have a mental health crisis, you can't speak into their care unless they have authorized that. And so through that legislation, we were able to say all college orientations for parents as well as students and transfer students will now be informed. You can fill out this, basically it's a mental health power of attorney. So as a student, you can proactively designate somebody. Of course, your parents want it to be them, but it might be someone else that you trust, so that when you have an emergency, someone can speak into that for you when you might not be able to. And I also got great news today for Oakwood. We've been working together to try to bring some capital dollars for you all, and it's been, the whole time I've been here, this is the first capital project that we've actually had a request for Oakwood. So we were able to secure $450,000 in the capital bill that was introduced today that will help benefit Schaefer and Orchardly Parks and basically the accessibility, the usability, and just making those parks how you want them to be. So we will, the bill was introduced today. We'll have hearings tomorrow, and it will pass out of both chambers most likely June 10th, because we worked with the Senate and the House to negotiate all of those dollars. So thank you for bringing that forward. And as you have issues or ideas, we welcome them. I welcome them. Please reach out anytime. And thanks again for all your efforts. So.
Thank you.
Any questions for, oh. Sorry.
Well, I personally want to thank Representative White. It has been really a journey for us as we're going through this, and your guidance has been spot on. You know, originally we wanted, okay, there's registration and required training, and Representative White said, well, you know, everybody can agree on education. Let's start the communication there and move forward. And I think you were absolutely right on that. So we're looking
Thanks for
forward to
working
see how
so
this
hard
goes.
on this. Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, any other visitors? Please come forward, state your name.
I'm Karen Bartley. I'm here on behalf of the Oakwood Historical Society. Our president, Ann Phoebus, had a conflict arise, so she couldn't come and speak tonight. I'm just kind of like overwhelmed because I have the fan thing, going to the longest table. 3 people from Oakwood Historical is going to do that. So anyway, it's been kind of a crazy evening. But I did want to update you just on a few of the activities that are going on with the Historical Society. We're now open on the 2nd and 4th Sundays of every month from 1 to 3 for tours of the house and some of our outbuildings. We also do tours by appointment. On our website, there's a email address, info@oakwoodhistory.org, that I monitor, and if people can't make the Sunday things, they can ask for a special time, and we'll set that up and do tours personally. The last Sunday that we were open, we had a family come that had 3 generations there, and it was just so fun, as grandparents all the way to grandkids, and they toured everything. And they told us that one Sunday a month, the whole family goes somewhere to a museum. And they were really impressed with ours. So it was such a great compliment after working for 5 years to get more of our artifacts on display, and copies of our really valuable stuff are now on display, such as like the deed to our property and things like that. So that's been a lot of fun, and we hope that sometime y'all can come and do a tour there. Just quickly, I'll mention 2 programs that we have that are important to the community. One is that if you have a house that's 100 years old, you can buy a marker that says you have a century home. They're bronze. They're a little bit expensive, and it's partly a fundraiser for us. I think you have one.
I
Don't
do.
you?
I do.
I do as well.
Oh, yeah. They're gorgeous. They're really pretty, and it's so fun to walk around town and see that. But when you order that marker, you also get a history of your home. And just as a side note, on that info account, I'm the one that monitors that. We often get people who are new to the community, have just purchased a house, and they'll write and say, can I get some history on my house? And Deborah Edwards, who created this program, she writes them a history. And at one point I said, why don't we charge for this? I mean, even $5, you know? And she said, no, this is how we have pride in the community. This is how we help people to connect, you know, with Oakwood and our unique history. So I stopped arguing with her about that. She also created some years ago the program of historical markers, and the latest one is at Hawthorne Hill, which you may have seen during the Right at Home. But there are several of those around town, so I just encourage people to look for them, such as when you leave here, you can look to the left and see one on the town of Oakwood, across the street at Little Exchange, that sort of thing. If you have any other questions, just come and visit us sometime. Right?
Any questions or comments?
No. Oh, I'd like to make a comment. I think what you're doing, what the Historical Society is doing on Facebook is great, because they put these little blips of history, and I think what better way to get the community excited about history is to just test them with that. And so I really appreciate you doing that.
Thank you.
I will also commend you on a fantastic job of research. I'm an architect. I'm also an architectural historian. When we applied for our 100-year marker, I got the history, and there were a lot of things that I wasn't aware of from that time period. So I really commend you for the amount of research that's done, and that it's a free service is amazing. So
I can take no credit for that, but I know Deborah.
Pass that along.
She loves architecture and writing those histories, and I just help.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Do we have any other visitors who would like to address council? If not, I will close the visitors portion of the meeting and move on to legislation. We only have one piece of legislation, and actually it's mine. So I will introduce this as a resolution providing for an election on the question of a renewal tax levy in excess of the 10 mil limitation for current expenses and the general operation of the city. The city has an existing 2.72 mil property tax levy that is due to expire at the end of 2026. The 2.72 mil levy was first approved by the Oakwood voters in 1991 and has been renewed every 5 years since then. At our May meeting, Council took the first legislative step to put this matter on the ballot for renewal, and this resolution is the second and final step. It is important to note that this is a renewal instead of a new tax levy. It will maintain the current level of property taxation and will not increase property taxes. I move that Council adopt this resolution tonight, and do I have a second?
Second.
And is this a roll call? Lori, can you please call the roll?
Vice Mayor Byington?
Yes.
Mrs. Turbin?
Yes.
Mrs. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Dorf?
Yes.
Okay. I think that is all for legislation. We have no staff report this evening, so we will move on to City Manager's report. Katie.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Just a few updates this morning, or this afternoon. First, just a quick reminder that our community communication survey has been extended through the end of the month. So we're still encouraging residents to go out to our website, fill out the survey so we can better recognize how our residents and our business community receives its information and how we can improve. So right after this meeting, go ahead and grab 2 friends, log on to the website, and take the survey so we can get that information compiled before the end of the month. I also want to share a quick update from the OCC. So over the Memorial Day weekend, despite all of the rain and the torrential downpour, we still had 600 visitors come to the pool and participate. And we also were able to sell about 615 memberships, bringing our revenue for that weekend to $164,000. So while we were down about 12% in comparison to last year, I will say our concession revenue was up $3,000 and our total guest count was up about 12% from last year. So I'm sure those numbers will increase the warmer the weather gets. So on the public safety side, I do want to take a minute to recognize our lieutenants and public safety officers that participated in the annual torch run for Special Olympics last week. It's a very exciting event for not only them, but also for us, because on the admin side, we go outside and cheer them on. So internally, we had Lieutenant Chris Sloan and Justin Sloan as the lieutenants that participated, and then we had several public safety officers, including Ross Green, Natalie Flory, and Jeff Payne. So kudos to them for participating in something that's such a unique and special event for our community, and of course another reason that our safety officers always represent us well. So kudos to all of them participating in that. They traveled 12 miles while carrying the torch off and on, so kudos to them for that and representing us so well. Finally, regarding our 2026 asphalt program, we received bids and are recommending that we award the bid to John R. Jurgensen. The bid came in at $454,000, which is lower than our anticipated budget of $500,000. So we're going to use that funding, and the program will begin in coming weeks. That's all I have for this evening. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Katie? Sounds like none. Okay. Then we will move on to council comments. And we'll start off with Councilmember Dorf.
Thank you. I've got 2. So first, I'd like to take a moment to recognize one of Oakwood's own. She couldn't be here tonight, but Lily Rodriguez is a recent graduate of Oakwood High School who's really making an important mark in our community. We are very proud of her as she enters the national stage. Lily is a 3-time national champion in the women's PR2 single sculls event. That's a rowing para-Olympic classification for rowers who compete using their trunk and arms movement only. Lily holds 18 indoor world records and competes with Gem City Crew, based out of Miamisburg, under coach and fellow Oakwood resident Alex Walters. Just last April, she competed at the prestigious Dogwood Junior Championship Regatta in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, where I got to watch her row, one of the nation's premier showcases for elite junior rowing talent. Her story was featured in the Oak Ridger. It was picked up by Yahoo Sports, and next week she'll be competing at U.S. Rowing Youth National Championship in Sarasota, Florida. That's why she's unable to be here. And this fall, she's going to take her talents to Marietta College, where she'll continue her rowing career at the collegiate level. So I just wanted to say how proud we are of Lily and all of her accomplishments as a member of Oakwood community. She really exemplifies the dedication, excellence, and inspiration, and we wish her best of luck. The second thing I'd like to say is that today marks the first day of Pride Month, and as a very proud member of the LGBTQ+ community myself, as the parent of someone who's in the LGBTQ+ community, as the brother, I just want to say happy Pride to everybody. Pride is really important. It's not just a party, it saves lives. It's an opportunity for people to be seen and to celebrate their authentic selves. It's a way to encourage people that might need that encouragement. And so I want to invite everybody to Oakwood's 5th annual Family Pride Picnic, which is coming up on Sunday, June 28th. It's from noon to 2 o'clock in Schaefer Park. It's a wonderful community event. Bring food, bring a picnic. We'll have food and we'll have games and other fun stuff. And it's a great way to start the summer together. So happy Pride Month, Oakwood.
Councilmember Jackson.
Thank you. I wanted to start by congratulating all the 2026 high school graduates, to wish them luck, to hope that they'll be good ambassadors for our city. And that was my first comment. The second comment is I want to encourage everyone to take advantage of our city having a historical museum. That's second and fourth Sundays to go visit. It's just so rare that cities have these anymore. They've been closing, and we have one, and they're manned by dedicated volunteers who really make our history come alive for us. Third thing is, I want to mention at the OIC, because Kate did not mention that there will be a bubble machine, just one more reason to come to the long table event. And finally, to encourage our citizens to enroll in the fraud alert notification system, since we've become aware of it tonight in a new way. Thank you.
Councilmember Turbin.
Yes, thank you, Vice Mayor. You know, Oakwood is one of the safest cities in Ohio. We have the lowest crime rate, and our response times are second to none. I mean, we're so fortunate that all of our officers are trained on the 3 disciplines of medical and fire and, of course, police, and so they're ready for any emergency at any time. Last year, they set up a Facebook page in the account of Oakwood Public Safety Department, and they have been engaging with residents since then about news and updates. And if you haven't already, please follow them on Facebook. You'll get information regarding safety measures, recent events, and trends that they're seeing. For example, a few weeks ago, they posted a picture and information about this new e-bike, the e-mini bike, that can go up to 40 miles an hour and is absolutely illegal on our roads. And just today, they started a series on e-bike safety, and they're going to identify all the different types of bikes, from electric scooters, e-bikes, mopeds, and electric motorcycles, and tell you what they can and cannot do. And then on another subject, they posted that there were 3 cars that were stolen in Oakwood, and every single one of those cars was unlocked with the keys in it. And so please, do yourself and your community a favor. You know, lock your car doors, bring the keys inside. I'm sure our safety officers would much rather be keeping the residents safe than chasing after a car. And so, please, if you have not already followed them, the Oakwood Public Safety Department on Facebook, do so and be in the know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. My comments, first of all, I'd just like to thank all the visitors that we had who came tonight. One of the great things about having these meetings is that not only can we convey information to our community, but our community can share information back with us, and it's really important. And I think the information shared always makes us think, how we can do better at the jobs that we do. We really appreciate the jobs that everybody else is doing. So I'd like to thank the Oakwood Rotary for during the Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully everybody had the opportunity to go up and down the boulevard and see all the American flags. That was done by volunteers from the Oakwood Rotary. I think that's a fantastic program, particularly when they complement all of the graduate photos as well. It was just a very moving experience to drive down there and see that. And then last comment I have is, like Councilmember Dorff mentioned, this is Pride Month, and speaking of flags, my beautiful wife and I have our flag up today as well, so we'd encourage everybody to celebrate this as Pride Month. So with that, our next regular session is scheduled for July 20th of 2026, and we are adjourned.